Hello, Etiquette Factory fans. Monica Irvin here, wanting to share with you today's lesson in raising a generation of ladies and gentlemen. Today's skill that we're going to talk about is really my favorite skill to teach anyone. I teach it to adults, I teach it to children, and that skill is that it's polite to stand for others. You know, if you and I were attending, let's say, a Boy Scout event, and the Boy Scout troop walked in carrying the American flag, what would we do? Yeah, we would stand up. We stand up to show honor and respect for the American flag because in standing, it's a way that we can serve, a small little act of service that we can show as a thank you to what that flag represents to you and I. Well, the same principle applies to the etiquette skill that it's polite to stand for others. Now, how might this skill look like in your home? Well, it would look like this. Let's say mom calls the family to the table for dinner. If your family knew this skill, then they would know that they are to go to the table and stand behind their chairs. They would remain standing until mom has sat down. And then all of the gentlemen at the table would remain standing until all of the ladies at the table sit down. This means that your children, your sons, are standing for their sisters. This means that all of the gentlemen at the table are standing for ladies. You know, I get some moms that say to me, I don't want my kids to have to stand for me, or I don't expect my husband to stand for me. And you know what? I don't either. I don't need my children to stand for me, but you know what? They need to stand for me. Why? Because it's this small little way that our children can serve us. How often do your children wake up in the morning and say, "Hey, Mom, I was thinking about serving you today. What can I do for you?" Yeah, that doesn't happen very often. But when we teach them this etiquette skill, it's a way that they can serve us that takes just a couple of seconds. What we forget so often when we're teaching these skills to our children is it's not so much for what they're doing for others, although that's a huge part of it and the sole purpose of it, but the ultimate payoff is what doing these skills does for our children. You see, as you know, when you and I serve others, we are the ones that always benefit the most. Because when we serve others, it helps us to feel better about ourselves. It makes us happy to bring happiness to others. And we want to help our children experience this. We want them to get in the habit of experiencing the joy that comes from serving others. And teaching them to stand for one another helps them feel more joy. If you want to give your children the gift of self-respect, of honor, then teach them to stand. This is one of those skills that my son Sawyer has more than once said to me, "Mom, that was a good skill." Why has he said that to me? Well, as you can imagine, he's gotten some attention in his life, especially when he stands for ladies, especially those that are around his age, and he has appreciated the attention that it has brought him. Now, I'm not saying that should be the main motivation, but in reality, I'm about whatever motivates them, that's a good thing as long as they're doing it. But we want our kids to experience this. I promise you, and I can make this promise because I have seen it happen. I have had it happen in my own home. If you want to increase the love between your family members, if you want to increase the love between your children for each other, the love between you and your spouse, stand. teach them to stand for each other. Every time my husband or my boys won't take their seat until I have sat down, it re-endears me to them. It makes me say to myself, oh, I love these boys. I love this man. Because it is so touching when a gentleman is kind enough to stand. Now, of course, it's important that we teach our daughters that if any gentleman is ever kind enough to stand for us, that we should show grace, that we should look them in the eye and say, thank you so much. I appreciate you standing for me, because I do. It's just the loveliest thing. Parents, try it. Just try it and see what happens in your home. For more information on teaching these skills to your children and other helps for your family, please visit us at theetiquettefactory.com. We would love to help you. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.